Now, what about former President Donald Trump fined for violating a gag order?
Well, I mean, look, this is par for the course for Donald Trump. I mean, Donald Trump does not like to follow rules. He doesn't seem to think that they apply to him. And I think the judge has been very clear with him that he would not be patient with any of Donald Trump's outbursts or attempts to malign him or any other member or officer of the court. Donald Trump has done just that. He has continually said that these proceedings are illegitimate, that somehow the judge and others are in cahoots with the prosecutor because Donald Trump is doing everything to deflect attention away from the very real charges of fraud that he is facing in this case, not to mention the other cases that he is facing in Georgia and from the federal government. So Donald Trump is in a world of hurt, but Donald Trump is the consummate showman. He knows how to use social media to his advantage and whip his followers into a frenzy. But that doesn't matter in a court proceeding. You know, the court of public opinion will not rule the day there. And I think this judge has shown Donald Trump that this is not going to end well for him if he continues to incite this particular court in this way.
Well, it seems like he's not going to stop. Doctor, how do you think this will all end? Because there are legal cases all over the place regarding the former president.
Well, who knows, right? I don't know that this is going to be a speedy road to prison for Donald Trump. Certainly, there are a lot of allegations here that he has to fight in New York, in Georgia, and with the federal government. So he'll be in Washington quite a bit. I will say, at least on the federal charges, we know that federal prosecutors don't tend to lose. They win more than 90% of the time. And if that is any kind of indicator, it is a very real possibility that Donald Trump could face prison time. He has over 91 counts, I believe, combined from all of these different cases, ranging from election interference to financial fraud. So Donald Trump is looking very likely to be an inmate one of these days. But it still is not clear whether that will disqualify him from holding office. Unfortunately, our Constitution is silent on that, and there seem to be a lot of his followers who are still happy to vote for him, despite these convictions and these very real
Mm.
questions around his ethics. And so we don't know what this will look like or how this will shake out. For the election of 2024, which is just around the corner.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Finally, and we're run out of time. I could talk to you all day. There's so many subjects to discuss, but
Absolutely.
he spoke about getting up a wall. Obviously, that was part of getting into getting into Washington for Donald Trump. Immigration. How big an issue is it?
I think it's a huge issue. I think when we look at the ports of entry, particularly the southern border, that has become, swelled, I mean, even overwhelmed with migrants right now, mainly families, which has been a change, and mainly folks from South America. Before, there were mainly folks from Central America. I think the United States is going to have to come up with a more efficient system. It has been the case that for multiple administrations, the Border Patrol Office has been understaffed, the immigration courts have been undermanned, and that has lengthened the time to hear people's claims for asylum, for regular sort of entry as long-term permanent residents. So it's a mess, and Joe
Mm.
Biden has, I think, asked for about $100 billion to help. Um, quell some of this swell at the border. But again, it's always piecemeal, schizophrenic, and almost a little too little, too late. Quite frankly,
Mm.
this system needs a complete overhaul.
Dr. Niambi, great to chat. Let's do it again soon.
Yes, thank you, Tim.